Greece's Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis has criticised the decision of his British counterpart Rishi Sunak to cancel planned talks at which he had hoped to raise the issue of the Parthenon marbles as disagreements over the antiquities erupted with renewed vigour. Greece has repeatedly asked the British Museum to permanently return the 2,500-year-old sculptures that British diplomat Lord Elgin removed from the Parthenon temple in the early 19th century when he was the ambassador to the Ottoman Empire. Mitsotakis released a statement informing about the cancellation of the scheduled meet. I express my annoyance that the British Prime Minister cancelled a planned meeting just hours before it was due to take place, he wrote. Greece and Britain are united by traditionally strong ties of friendship, and the framework of our bilateral relations is exceptionally broad. The views of Greece on the Parthenon sculptures are well known. I had hoped to have the opportunity to discuss them with my British counterpart along with other international challenges: Gaza, Ukraine, the climate crisis, migration. The statement ended with Mitsotakis berating Sunak for failing to rise to the challenge of discussing the fate of antiquities that have spawned the West's longest-running cultural row. Whoever believes in the correctness and justice of his views is never afraid of opposing arguments, it read. The Greek government has been in discussions with British Museum Chair George Osborne on a possible loan deal for the sculptures, which have been a source of dispute between the two countries for centuries. Mitsotakis complained in an interview with the BBC on Sunday that talks over a possible return of these sculptures to Athens were not advancing quickly enough. He said that the continued presence of the sculptures in the British Museum was like cutting the Mona Lisa in half, and it was not a question of ownership but reunification. The remarks seemed to have irritated Sunak to the point that he felt there was no reason to hold the talks. Asked about Mitsotakis' statement, Sunak's office said Britain's relationship with Greece was hugely important and that the two countries needed to work together on global challenges like tackling illegal migration. Deputy British Prime Minister Oliver Dowden was available to meet Mitsotakis to discuss these issues instead, Sunak's office said. The British government has always ruled out giving up ownership of the marbles, which include about half of the 160-meter frieze that adorned the Parthenon, and said they were illegally acquired. A law prevents the British Museum from removing objects from the collection apart from in certain circumstances, but the legislation does not prohibit a loan. Sunak had previously made clear he would never support changing the legislation drawn up in 1963. Mitsotakis, whose New Democracy Party won a second term in office in July, has made returning the treasures to the country where they were carved 2,500 years ago a priority for his next 4 years in power.
Subscribe to Oneindia channel and never miss an update.